it's lovely to have Shaw coming back and
possibilities here. Muller hooks it goalwards, but falls kindly enough for Hart.
Gladiator, Clive, wasn't it? That music? Podolski, the Gladiator.
John Stones has come on for England in place of Chris Smalling. Started all 5 internationals this season before tonight, but just a little bit earlier. I just felt that Stones and Sterling, of all the players he inherited at the weekend, looked a little leg weary. The rest of them tonight. Here's Ward-Prowse, ball in possession by Schuler. Chan. Muller. Hector. Seen it a goal yet this season. England somehow changed that in the closing minutes and get what we all feel would be just desserts, very least, in the sense they deserve from the night's toils would be a draw. Team can see it out. Germany can.
Yeah, they're keeping possession now. They're trying to protect their lead, and I think that the changes that England, so many changes now that England have made defensively, they just can't sort of press together. They found it difficult now after the changes.
Here's Thomas Muller. Talk. He robs him. Getting forward, squeeze back for Schuler. Corner kick.
Yeah, Germany just getting around the back of England there. Lovely little pullback. Schuler comes off the right side perch and just picks up a really awkward position to pick him up, and then deflection from John Stones, because I think he's going in the bottom corner if he doesn't get that touch.
Forward. From close towards Max Hummels. Okay. Finding Walker on the restart. Walker can't find Ward-Prowse though. Looking for Sané's recover from Shaw. Redmond, Shaw. thoughts on this England performance, Glenn?
No, I think Gareth will be very pleased with it. I think there's been lots of options. We've kept the ball well. We've created chances. And a lot of more positive than negative in this performance. There really are. But people from the bench that can come on and replace players and keep the same shape, and the intensity of the game doesn't go down.
And keeping the pressure on and almost robbing Rudiger. Or Prowse.
Difficult to strike the right balance between using these friendly internationals to try out new things and respecting the England cap, not giving them away cheaply. But all of these players, young players coming into the team, seem to have a real future. Rashford, Lingard, Rashford going on. Ball just wouldn't quite break for it. Minutes. Rudy. Kimmich. Chan with the forward burst. Little back heel for Leroy Sané. It's blocked by Cahill. Stones trying to run it out. Sané again. An important challenge by Cahill. Time over the corner. Under that big South Terrace, minus Dortmund South Tribune. I think Germany want to win this or not? Sing away every last second. Sané, Muller, back to Chan, back to Kimmich. Pass is good enough. Hummels. Dyer had to try to commit to a challenge. England desperate to win it back for one last hurrah. Position, so the play's gone on.
Yeah, it's the right decision, isn't it? His assistant was just waiting to see whether he was going to get involved in the play, and King brings him into it.
He's got to go forward. Here's Dyer. Cut out by Hummels. Redmond trying to keep it alive. Does look now to have got away from an England team who've been the better side for much of the evening. But some things are just meant to be. And it was Lucas Podolski's big night. He's won it with another big swing of his famous left foot. And England have been beaten in Dortmund. The views of Ian Wright, Lee Dixon and Ryan Giggs in just a moment. Final score, Germany won Dortmund for some 2.5 years. 12 other German cities have hosted the national team in that time. The whole country gets to see this country's team. And no doubting this is a football town. Borussia Dortmund average crowds of over 81,000 in the Bundesliga, and only Barcelona can rival that anywhere in Europe. You'll see Dele Alli and Adam Lallana playing quite close to Jamie Vardy's new look England system. It will be provided by the wing-backs Kyle Walker and Ryan Bertrand. England in a new away strip, that is midnight blue. It is a little difficult to compare a prestige friendly with some of the famous and infamous tournament games between English and German teams. England's last defeat on German soil in 1987 to West Germany in nearby Dusseldorf, and Glenn Hoddle of Monaco was in the team. We stood no chance at all. We were playing our second string that night.
I think we were.
Well, it's almost exactly a year since England's 3-2 win in Berlin, a year in which the team's performances have never quite touched the same heights. But despite the absence of several recognised German first-teamers, this is still a really good test for the men in blue tonight, Glenn.
Yeah, it always is when you play against Germany. The quality they've got, the depth in their squad. But I'm really looking forward to seeing the front three, actually. There's a lot of talk about the back three playing, but the three, Vardy, Lallana and Dele Alli, are in really, really good form at the moment for their clubs.
Last time England beat a German side 2 internationals in succession. Yeah, 1966. Gary Cahill playing in his club position on the left of the back three. Chris Smalling at the centre. And here are the first moments in international football for Michael Keane. Germany lining up essentially 4-4-2.
Yeah, they've got the two strikers up there, haven't they? And Podolski's really pushing up there and making the two, trying to put some pressure on our back three. But and they're doing a halfway press. They're not really pressing too high up the pitch, letting England come out on the ball and play that type of ball.
Vardy in pursuit of Smalling's long ball. In the absence of the injured Manuel Neuer, Marc-Andre ter Stegen of Barcelona is in goal for Germany tonight. Rudiger. Towards their regular left back, Jonas Hector of Cologne. 3 of the German back 4 are what you would regard as their first choice defence. Hummels and Kimmich, the right back. And then Toni Kroos in midfield would probably be the only other member of tonight's team. Joachim Löw would be fielding in a competitive international if everybody were fit. Keane towards Walker, down into the path of Lallana. Walker's onside. Lallana. Walker just won't quite catch that. But on the same wavelength at the critical moment. He's shown a real willingness to look at making changes to try to change England's international results. It's an appetite for change that he has. It's the first time in over 10 years that England have started a game with a back three. It was a regular feature of Glenn Hoddle's stewardship when, in fact, Southgate was part of your back three.
He was, Clive, yes. He could play on the outsides, he could play in the centre. Any of those positions, he was really comfortable and did it really well.
Livermore's won the ball here for Lallana. Now Vardy with the back flick. Livermore. Dyer. Just allowed it to run away from him. Won it back. Down goes the German captain for the night, Lukas Podolski, who hasn't started an international in more than 3 years. Hummels. Like Bertrand. After seeing England starting 11 drawn from 9 different clubs. Only one of the 3 Spurs men in the starting 11. It was a
shame there. The German defence, the back four, came up so high there, and Dele Alli just couldn't get it right under his feet. Vardy was looking to break in behind. If they play that high, then Vardy could cause them all sorts of problems, particularly against Hummels. He's got the taste to outdo them.
Leroy Sané of Manchester City to Toni Kroos. It's Hector. Sané. Kroos. Rudiger. Brandt. Kimmich. To Werner. It's the German. Belgium tonight with 24 Timo Werner of Leipzig. That was a little bit too much of Kimmich, who crashed into the back of Gary Cahill. I remember him picking up an injury for England in a match at Wembley in a similar incident, Gary Cahill, which cost him a place at a major tournament.
It was a bit naughty, wasn't it? A bit late. There was nothing happening. I don't think he could get the ball. He just did Cahill a little bit of a whack there, saying, "Oh, my friend, this is a testimonial." You might have thought so with Podolski at the start of the game.
Cahill was captain in Berlin a year ago. Every available second. Good feed from Livermore. Lana to Walker. Livermore spreading the ball out to Bertrand. Ali. Good turn by Ali in towards Vardy. Goalkeeper hesitated. There was contact there between Ter Stegen and Vardy, who was maybe looking for it. Andre Ter Stegen just seemed to hesitate almost fatefully.
It looked like he was favourite, wasn't it? But he just pulled out at the end.
Livermore down to Lallana, halted by Rudiger. Livermore with a terrific challenge. Ali in towards Vardy again, but it's just hooked away from him by Kimmich. It's going to be a corner.
This was lovely play. Dele Alli just came off his defender there, and you just think Stegen's going to come. For me, he's just looking for it. He just got in the way there. He's touched it round him. Made sure he's dived backwards, the goalkeeper. He's done quite well, but Gareth there, from that view down there on that bench, you claim for anything.
It was clumsy goalkeeping though. In towards Vardy and hit first time and just over by Michael Keane. 7 minutes into his international debut. Wow.
It's a great effort actually. He's seen it late. Really good technique. What a start that would have been for the young kid, for the young man making his debut. But good start from England. They look more attacking. They look far better than Germany at the moment. They've started really well. They're prepared to press high and engage people, and really putting Germany off at the moment.
Michael Keane in possession. He's from Stockport. He had 2 years in the under-21s with Gareth Southgate. This is only his second season in the Premier League. He was presented with his first England shirt in the dressing room half an hour before kick-off by Glenn Hoddle, who was asked by Gareth Southgate to carry out that ceremony. A nice one too.
Yeah, it was a nice touch from Gareth and the FA. You know, it's a nice way for somebody to feel at home in many ways, but it was a pleasure doing it.
England have started well. Coming deep to try to restore a bit of order, some composure on the ball. Goes to Kimmich. Just behind Werner. Joe Hart, now of mid-table Torino, who have won just twice since the winter break, has actually shipped 15 goals in his last 6 games in Italy. They don't have the best defensive record, Torino. Where his future lies remains to be seen. He's pretty certain there will be no return to Manchester City. Hummels. By Smalling.
It's unusual for a German side. They just can't keep hold of that ball at the moment, getting any possession, any base to their game. England are pressing them hard, but winning the ball back pretty quickly.
Love, the German coach. Only German nationals have ever coached the German national side. Manager of the reigning world champions. He, like Gareth Southgate, will only really have had one full training session with his players since they reported on Sunday night. Qualifier on Sunday. Hector, Sané, is it back from Podolski? Lucas Podolski on his famed left foot, out as far as Weigl. Between the two centre-backs now, trying to get Germany moving.
Yeah, there's good pressure from England. Every time a German player looks up, he's 9 times out of 10 he's got somebody, a blue shirt, getting his head down so he can't look forward and pass easily. And got a good shape about them England at the moment. Example there, Walker, really working hard there. He knows anything behind him that Keane's going to have to deal with and come out, so he can press, and as a wing back, can press really hard and quickly.
Bertrand following Kimmich. Hummels unable to get out because of Dele Alli. Time for Keane. Bertrand. Scotland are also involved in a friendly international this evening in Edinburgh at Easter Road, and Canada taking the lead in that match with a goal from a Falkirk player, Fraser Aird. Scotland, who are in England's qualifying group, Slovenia on Sunday evening. Walker. And out by Hector. Dyer. Very precise pass for Livermore. In towards Vardy. Header is by Rudiger. It's more up than out. Hector on his weaker right foot. Puts it straight to Livermore. There was a foul there. Close was upended. Bit of relief for Germany. Sané. Weigl. Kroos. The space for Hector. It's cut out by Livermore. I don't think there's any doubt that he's got his charge this evening, partly because of the injuries to Jordan Henderson and Danny Drinkwater.
just 21 minutes of international football to his name before tonight, Jake Livermore, and that was 4.5 years ago in a friendly match. And lots happened to him since. Notably his £10 million move to West Bromwich Albion in January. First West Brom outfield player to play for England since 1984. And I think only Baggies fans would have the answer to the question which follows that. Who? Steve Hunt. Here's Vardy. On towards Ali. Away by Hummels. A little risky from Brandt, and very risky from Weigl. Ter Stegen just managed to save the corner kick.
Yeah, it wasn't composed, was it? Played a few wrist ball there, and again it was England's pressing that forced them into those errors.
With one of their own at the moment, because it's really difficult to keep it under the England press. This morning tracking Werner every inch of the way.
It's really good defending.
One back though. Here's Kroos. Now Podolski hit against Michael Keane. Time that Germany have really been able to steal the ball deep in England territory, and it led to a shooting opportunity. The club left foot of Lucas Podolski. Julian Brandt. There's Podolski once more. Now Kimmich. Sané. From Leroy Sané. Lallana finding Ali. The accurate pass. That comes from Rudiger. Sané is able to atone for his error. Weigl. Now Hector. To Hector. It's back from Brandt. Hummels. Brandt. Sold Kimmich short, and Bertrand's able to head away. Hummels. The late run is from Kimmich. To link up with Sané. So Hart will be able to claim that. Cap number 69 for Joe Hart tonight, just 4 behind Gordon Banks now, 6 behind David Seaman. Only Peter Shilton has kept goal for England on more occasions than those two men. It's the company's keeping now. Space for Sané, try to exploit the space between wing back and centre back. It's back from Brandt by Kroos. With any real conviction.
The only slight problem that we've got at the moment, and I think Gary Cahill was just telling him now, Bertrand goes a little bit too early, and Cahill's a bit reluctant to get out wide. Sané's getting a lot of space on that right hand side.
It's one of the features of a back three that in an ideal world you'd require two of your centre-backs to be fairly comfortable in wide positions. Michael Keane's actually played at right back for England under 21s. Cahill is adapting to his role with Chelsea.
Two outside centre-backs defending and with the ball, when you split them wide, do end up in the right and back left position, and that's why you on the ball it gives you great options, it really does. And if you've got somebody in midfield who can change the play from 70 yards, you can see Bertrand now on the other side of the pitch, he's free. If someone could find him now very quickly, they're just shifting the ball a little bit too slow. By that time the Germans get over.
Moore, the first West Brom outfield England player since '84. Keane, the first Burnley outfield player since 1974. Martin Dobson.
He's gone wide, he's prepared to go in the channel. Gary Cahill just comes in the centre. He's now in between the two centre-backs, and that back three's got that little bit of flexible about it, and defensively that's always good. You can end up having the confidence that the central man is going to go out wide when he needs to.
John Stones wasn't considered for selection from the start this evening. Gareth Southgate felt that Stones and Sterling were just a little short of peak fitness after Manchester City's adventures of last week. Phil Jones would have had a good chance of starting in the back three this evening, but for the injury he picked up in training. This is Werner. There's far too much of Sané. But they've lost a little bit of that early menace that they showed. Vardy. Dyer's sliding in with a big challenge, but Nagel emerges with the ball. Then Gary Cahill does. And here's Adam Lallana into the path of Dele Alli. Walker arriving very late in the day. He's kept it in somehow. And here's Lallana. Wouldn't run for him.
Walker did remarkable to get to that ball. It was a great ball from Dele Alli. He saw him come, he burst his gut to get there and kept it in. It was a dangerous position for him, and Lallana just couldn't get control of it so he could get his shot off.
Ali. Lallana. The ball to Keane. Walker again. Wants to run at Hector. Keane. Little flick on from Lallana. Full Kimmich. Down by Smalling. Gets the job done.
Where England now just got to go out of gear and really believe in themselves. They're playing much better than Germany at the moment. Have that belief now to take it up a gear or two and go and punish them whilst they're in a good flow and good pattern of play.
William Lallana certainly had the creativity, the artistry to thrive in those little pockets of space behind Jamie Vardy. To try a trick. Saw a little back heel from Ali there. Walker to Livermore.
top on the field, and the England supporters making more noise than the German masses off the field. Livermore fired into Vardy. Walker just caught on his heels a little. Toronel would clear. It's a corner kick. I'm sure the linesman was altogether convinced. And the officials tonight are from Slovenia. The man in charge is Damir Skomina. His last game with England was against Iceland last summer. You may remember it. He did give us a penalty. Ouch. Lallana with the corner in towards Dyer. It was in the 91st minute that he powered home from a corner in Berlin a year ago. Eric Dyer.
Similar position, wasn't it? Right, the same position. There's two white shirts, they're just squeezing him a little bit, but decent delivery. The Germans are defending corners from some zonal. If one of the England centre-backs can get a run on them, and the delivery's right, they could get their rewards.
Forced to throw in. He's only played a couple of FA Cup ties for Spurs in midfield since October. He's been operating as a club defender, Eric Dyer, but it's very important in this particular role for England, and Julian Weigl felt that challenge.
Well, with Dyer playing back in that midfield as well, if one of the centre-backs want to come and really go into midfield and drag players out, the German players out, you've got a perfect player in Dyer who can just slip back in any of those positions, so the flexibility there can even work. They haven't done that yet at the moment, but it's an option that they've got.
Okay, in towards Ali, it's beautifully weighted pass, and Ali's pulled it back and it's headed away by Antonio Rudiger.
That's a lovely run and beautiful ball from Keane, wasn't it? That Ali just sneaks in behind. Look at that, just a little bit of curl on it, fading in behind Hummels. Dele Alli gets him behind. So, you know, in the last third, Gareth's got to be pleased with the way England are performing at the moment. The last third, there's things happening, and they really have got Tate in the play. They've got a good pattern of play, good shape.
So, Weigl is still feeling the effects of that clash with Dyer. Certainly didn't pull out Dyer.
He's won the ball, isn't he? He just caught him as he's gone through, but for me it's a 50-50. He stayed low. His tackle's a good tackle. He's just caught him accidentally.
Weigl's foot was ever so high there. I'll tell you what, that's not too pleasant. Eric Dyer's a little lucky to get away without an injury himself, and it's a little ironic that Weigl, in his home stadium here at Dortmund, has the player down and in trouble.
Wow, he's gone over the top there, isn't he? He's the one that's come unstuck in the end, but it was a nasty challenge from Weigl.
Germany down to 10 for now. Weigl's trying to run off the injury. Ali. Stepped away by Hummels, but only as far as Livermore. And now Walker. Hummels there again. It's a good run for England there. Dyer bursting onto the ball again. Walker to Livermore, trying to poke it into Lallana, and it was just behind Adam Lallana.
There's a shame there. Dele Alli was the ball, just pulled off into the... Look, there he is. You can see him in the centre. Pitch all on his own edge of the box. As a midfield player, you can't ask for more than getting free in that position. It's a shame Livermore didn't see him.
eventually. Keane's up above Brandt. Rudiger. Hummels. Now Brandt. Hector. Podolski. Well to hold off Dyer. Joshua Kimmich. Weigl. Kroos. An apprentice in that German midfield, because Weigl is seen as the natural successor to Kroos. It's a loose pass, and it's Lallana who's streaking forward with Vardy in support, going for goal himself, and it comes back off the post. Adam Lallana, who scored in his last 3 games for England, almost made it 4 in a row with that lung-busting run from deep, denied only by Ter Stegen's goalpost.
It was a great run, wasn't it? So unlucky, wasn't he? He's hit the centre of the post. If it's just inside, it goes in. But he showed extremely good pace to go from the halfway line and go away from the defender.
Hector. Kroos. Hector. Here's Tony Kroos. Just couldn't quite pull it back for Brandt. Almost down to Weigl.
It's great positional play though from Dyer to get back from that midfield position there. The back 3 go in and defend the 6 yard, where there's German players going in near post, far post. Dyer goes back there as the second phase, and great position. Sweeps up in front of the back 3.
Livermore into the path of Lallana again, just about getting his breath back. It's bumbled over by Kimmich.
Well, this is the interception, wasn't it? It was a poor ball and he's gone, and you think, well, is he going to get caught here? But his strength and his power and his pace, he's thinking, he's looked up as well to see if he had support, but he did the right thing, didn't he? There was a little glance to see if Vardy was around, and it's just hit the centre of the post. If it goes inside, it's a goal. And but so encouraging the way England are playing at the moment. The pattern of play, the shape is brilliant, and Germany are finding it really hard. As good as England are pressing, Germany can't press England. There's a spare man we've got all over the pitch.
Terrific technique from Ali. What's that about our players not having the technical ability of the mainland Europeans? Look at Ali and Lallana out there tonight.
This is the difference. This is how we've got to play, relaxed in tournament football. The guys were talking about fear, the fear in the players in tournaments, but you can see these players are relaxed, and it's a friendly. You've got to replicate that in the tournament. But the environment needs to be there for you to believe that you can play that way. I've seen him do this many times for Tottenham. He sort of drags it, stays on his foot for a split second. Look, he tries to nutmeg, but he goes the other side. Is lovely skill in the right area of the pitch as well. If you lose it there, they can't break on you and score.
It's like being hoodwinked by a conjurer. Now you see it, now you don't. Where is it? Up your sleeve? Where's it gone? News of that friendly match at Easter Road this evening. Scotland have equalised through Stephen Naismith. Scotland won, Canada won. It's a poor pass from Bertrand, but Cahill just managed to recover. Clever play by Kroos. Sané. Hector. Away calmly by Keane. Weigl. Presented to Walker. Lallana. Livermore.
into Podolski. So they're trying to smuggle it back to him, but Smalling was able to clear. Opening 35 minutes for England, so close to taking the lead. Adam Lallana, who got that late winner in Slovakia for Sam Allardyce and then headed the second goal against Scotland, scored from the spot against Spain, denied by the post tonight. Clearance by Livermore. Brandt. Gross. Brandt again. It's a strange clearance by Cahill. And found a way out of that corner. This guy's passed to Sané and a good one. Now Podolski. Well, he's usually better than that from that kind of range.
Yeah, it was on his favoured left foot. He had a little bit more time, actually, than he thought. It's a nice little ball from Sané there. He's got more time. He's one touch and hit it. Didn't look up, never had a look at the picture. This is the Cahill. It's come off his arm, isn't it?
Yeah, arm tucked into his side, but he did lean into it. Oh, Joe Hart. Heart in mouth.
A little bit too close for comfort, that one, Joe. But he's done it. He got away with it. It's a lovely little Cruyff he did in the end.
Yeah. Can we make that the last one of the night, though, please, Joe? Thanks.
I'm sure Gareth will be saying that to him.
Their supply, which we thought about before.
Clarence says we haven't seen the best yet of Japan.
Absolutely not.
Belgian supporters might say, slow your roll, Clarence. You haven't seen the best from us either. We are loaded with talent. Courtois, Hazard, De Bruyne, Lukaku. Is this the year Belgium raises the hardware?
My card.
Misplace your debit card? Turn it off with your app.
Excuse me, my card.
This one's gotta be yours, right?
Yes.
And turn it on when you find it.
This endangered species is getting help from some unexpected friends. The zebra and antelope. They're wearing IoT sensors connected to the IBM cloud. When poachers enter the area, the animals run for it, which alerts rangers who can track their motions and help stop them before any harm is done. It's a smart way to help increase the rhino population and turn the poachers into the endangered species.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham. Enter the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players of the...
Hi, Google. Call Maddie.
Okay, dialing now.
Hey, Google. Order my usual from Starbucks.
All right, getting Starbucks.
Hey, Google. Call my brother. Hey, Google. Call my brother.
Text Carol. Can you text Carol for me, too?
Hey, Google. Who just texted me?
Yo, Google.
Kevin, that was great, but we haven't made Yo Google work yet, so you have to say,
Hey, Google.
Hey, Google.
Hi, how can I help?
Play some Sia.
Hey, Google, play the next episode.
Play The Crown on Netflix. All Channing Tatum movies.
Yo, Google.
that was great. Can we just get one where you say, hey, Google?
Hey, Google, find my phone.
Whoa.
Hey, Google.
Hey, Google.
Hey, Google.
Yo, Google. Lock the front door.
Okay, let's just go with Yo Google then. I'm sure the engineers would love to update everything.
Yo.
Hi, what can I do for you?
America, sorry you're not in the tournament. Consider rooting for Belgium. After all, we host the world's biggest electronic dance festival. That's Hans, my lighting guy.
Iceland could really use your support. We don't have enough people to do the wave. See?
Cheer for Germany. We gave you the Frankfurter.
Whatever team you choose, it's time to jump on the wagon. Brought to you by Volkswagen and America's best bumper-to-bumper limited warranty.
Colombia takes on the dynamic Harry Kane in England. The FIFA World Cup knockout rounds on Fox and FS1.
Rostov Arena is the site where third-ranked Belgium will try and book a date with second-ranked Brazil in the quarterfinals. First up, though, they have to get past Japan. Kickoff of that one just minutes away. For the latest, let's head back to Rostov-on-Don. Check in once again with the pair. We're going to call the game for you, JP Telecamera and Tony Miola.
Thank you, Rob. Tony, we've seen the lineups. Japan's coach was criticized for all the changes he made the last game, but today he's back to his regulars.
Yeah, Kira Nishino back to the side we thought that they would have here, as we saw in the first two games. It's going to, again, look like a 4-5-1 when they defend. And I'm with Clarence here. Alexi, I apologize. I don't think they're going to bunker in. If it looks that way, JP, it's because Belgium now has them pinned in. And, of course, the big change for Belgium, and maybe it's not a change, it's an addition with Vincent Kompany. Clearly, he's good. He's a great defender. He helps them build out of the back. He helps them on restarts. But I think the most important thing for Roberto Martinez by inserting Vincent Kompany, got him to 16 minutes against England, is the fact that he put a leader on the field. And when you get to this part of the competition, you need leaders on the field.
9 goals scored in the group stage. So, Rob, naturally everyone is talking about their offense, but they only conceded twice. Defensively, they're pretty sound.
Agreed, JP. Thank you, guys. We take another look at the updated bracket. The big news today, bottom left, Brazil taking care of Mexico 2-0. Up next for them, the winner of our next game, Friday noon.
De 2-3 metros. Hoy podría haber sido gol.
Podría haber rematado él, finalmente se la dio a Sassi. Menos mal que fue casi una cesión.
Lo decías tú, Mano, con el tema del rival, ¿eh?
Que le pasó a De Gea el otro día, que nos pasen amistosos. Ahí está el balón de Isco, se quedó atascado. Roba ahora Túnez, la pelota la quería jugar Badri. Quieren salir a la contra ahora por banda izquierda, viene
¿Por qué empató con
Portugal?
Con Portugal,
Sí,
¿por qué le ganó a Irán? ¿Por qué ha empatado con Turquía 2-2? O sea, es un equipo que hay que tenerlo en cuenta también. Si es que es mundialista, ahora ya aquí no hay tontos ninguno.
Ahí estamos viendo la jugada anterior, como Badri, que tiene opción de disparo, van todos a por él, se la pasa a su compañero Sliti, afortunadamente muy flojo el disparo.
Con la izquierda,
a las manos de De Gea, sí.
Pero es cierto ahí que Badri le falta confianza y le da como miedo.
Y mira, y si sacan una imagen veremos que De Gea no puede sacar porque ellos están arriba presionando la salida del balón de España.
Oh, qué control de Isco, qué pase, sin que cayera el balón al suelo, cómo le salió. Con la rosca perfecta, al final sacó la falta, ese balón que iba de Isco a Rodrigo acabó en falta, pero qué detalle.
De primera lo tiene absolutamente todo controlado. Es cierto que todas las selecciones, ¿verdad, mister? A día de hoy los
Carvajal,
equipos, sí,
ahí está,
preparado para el debut. Aspa, que todos, ¿no? Lo que es la idea es presionar cuando tiene un equipo que saca la pelota muy bien jugada de atrás. ¿Qué es lo que quiere obligar a ese equipo que quiere la posesión y el protagonismo? Pelotazo, claro. Porque la lucha ahí con los corpulentos centrales te puede llevar el balón.
Y para que la sorteen,
Jugando de nuevo España. Salió Lopetegui del banquillo y ya no se sienta, dando órdenes a los suyos. En esta última prueba que vemos en directo en 4. Acordaros, acuérdense de las fechas. El 15 contra Portugal, el 20 contra Irán, el 25 contra Marruecos. Los 3 partidos, 8 de la tarde en Telecinco. Los 3 partidos de la primera fase jugamos a las 8, los 3 en Telecinco. El 15, el 20 y el 25. Ojo a la carrera de Ben Youssef. Pero ahí está, amigo Ramos, que se lleva ahora la ovación de los aficionados de la grada.
Que suelen jugar al revés. O sea, Ben Youssef normalmente suele jugar en punta.
Son tanqueta,
Sí.
el número 8, tanque fuerte.
Uno de los dos, Ben Youssef. Este es Fakhreddine Ben Youssef.
Esto es Sian, ¿no?
Central.
Bien nos ha venido las clases que hemos dado, ¿eh?
Hemos estado dando clases tunecinas y nos queda...
No soy otro desde que empecé con él, de verdad, ¿eh?
Balón de Isco, qué buena pelota, qué bueno el desmarque, cuidado que el portero salía, no lo vio Rodrigo. El portero casi se fue hasta el pico del área. Bueno. Dice el asistente que ha salido, Juanma.
Sí, levanta el banderín el juego de línea y señala saque de banda a favor de Túnez.
Levantó la bandera, aunque el árbitro no había pitado saque de banda. Mira la presión de España de nuevo. Vamos a ver si robamos ese balón. 15 minutos de partido en directo en 4. Ahora falla Ramos en el pase a Jordi. 0-0 en el marcador. España 0, Túnez 0.
Buenas posibilidades las que le da al poseedor de la pelota Rodrigo en estos minutos que llevamos, hermano, viniendo a recibir, yendo al espacio, y siempre tiene una opción, sea Iniesta, Thiago, Busquets, la posibilidad de meterle al jugador valencianista un balón en profundidad.
Cuidado esa llegada ahora por la izquierda de nuevo de Badri. El balón ha salido, pegó en el pie del jugador español. Saque de banda para el mejor equipo africano ahora mismo en el ranking FIFA, el mejor de los 5 que viene a esta Copa del Mundo. Viene Marruecos, viene Egipto,
Senegal,
viene Túnez, viene Senegal y Nigeria.
Está Túnez en el puesto 21
sí.
del ranking FIFA. España, por cierto, arranca este mundial décima en el ranking FIFA.
Ojo ese balón, no levantó la bandera el asistente, era un pase envenenado ahí para Ben Youssef, que afortunadamente no controló. El asistente no levantó la bandera, se confió ahí la defensa.
Enganchado Jordi Alba, me da la sensación, Manu. Creo que se queda enganchado.
Hemos visto la jugada repetida y ahora nos han presionado en el saque de puerta y ha perdido el balón España, mientras veíamos la repetición. Bien, ahora la recuperación de Iniesta. Vamos a ver la contra. Sale Ramos. Ahora el contragolpe del equipo español.
Ellos también ellos te presionan muy bien también, y si no te hacen falta. O sea, que las ideas las tienen claras también.
Sliti se va de Ramos, casi con algo de fortuna, se va de Jordi Alba, no lo consigue. Bien Busquets en la ayuda ahí, que viene hacia la cobertura. Ramos, el taconazo de Jordi, que parece que sigue cojeando ahí un poquito. No sé si ha sido por...
Yo creo que es que le han dado ahora otra vez,
sí,
por no cojeaba.
Antes en la derecha, yo creo que ahora se llevó el golpe en la izquierda. Bueno, volvemos a perderla. Cuidado el centro. Demasiadas pérdidas en esa zona del campo. Odriozola que se la quita de encima, y la ventaja debería ser para el central. Así lo hace Meria por arriba, pero cuidado que viene Rodrigo, y el que retrasa el balón es Salim Alul para el portero, Kiko.
Manu tonto, en la que estamos teniendo muchas imprecisiones, no terminamos de filtrar. Ellos cierran muy bien cualquier pase interior, pero la gente de talento y de creatividad no terminan de encontrar. Sobre todo también ahí Piqué y Sergio no terminan de darle ese balón por dentro para hacer superioridad numérica. Ellos
apareciendo un poquito Silva, apareciendo un poco Isco, quitando algún detalle así suelto de calidad, pero hace falta que intervengan más en la creación de juego ahí, mister, ¿eh?
Es que no hay ninguna selección ya mundialista que sea floja. Todas tienen sus ideas, todas saben a lo que juegan, y si tú te descuidas un poquito, pues te vienen arriba, ¿no? Y mira, tienen el desparpajo. Antes jugaban con una selección de este tipo y no se atrevían a venir a lo mejor a presionarte, ¿no? Ahora juegan, saben que como en teoría no tienen nada que perder, que están jugando con una selección más famosa y superior deportivamente, pero ellos van a su fútbol y intentar hacer lo mejor posible, y por eso pues crean sus oportunidades y tienen su juego.
Como decía Camacho, Túnez está en ese grupo G con Inglaterra, Panamá y Bélgica. Debutan contra Inglaterra. Otra pérdida de balón de España. Otra pérdida de balón. Ojo Badri, el centro al punto de penalti. Ese remate casi con la punta de la bota de Sliti. Y Julen, que no le gusta lo que ve. Juanma.
No le gusta nada, ¿eh? Ya lleva unos minutos de zozobra la selección española, y además en aspectos que no le gustan nada al seleccionador. Esas pérdidas de balón y a veces faltas incluso de intensidad.
Mira la presión otra vez, ¿eh? Todo el equipo de Túnez arriba, y obliga ahora a De Gea a jugar en largo. Ahora para Odriozola.
Ahí lo que pasa es que en el medio campo ahora se pueden crear más espacio, porque ellos lógicamente están muy largo, el equipo está desde los centrales hasta el punta, pues hay muy largo, y España, si sabe sacar esa presión, desde luego ahí entre Silva, Iniesta, ahora Rodrigo, que puede recibir, eso es lo que tiene que hacer.
Balón para España, Jordi Alba. Estamos en el casi 20 de la primera parte, en directo en 4, con el último amistoso de España.
El 4-1-4-1, se ha metido al 4-5-1, todo muy juntito, muy cerrado, por eso la dificultad que está teniendo España, y no termina de encontrar ese pase por dentro, pero han cambiado. Antes tenía un solo sostén por delante, que era Skiri, por delante de la defensa, pero ya se han metido 5 en el centro del campo. Le mete algo de velocidad, como decía el mister, no es esta solución. A día de hoy cualquiera se pone
de Brown, corpulento lateral derecho. de la selección tunecina. Juega Isco. Balón para Sergio Busquets en el círculo central con todo el equipo africano.
Pierden el balón y, como ha dicho Kiko, ya están ahí, hay 10 tíos por detrás del balón.
Buen balón ahora, buen balón de Isco, cambiando el juego al otro lado del campo, donde ha recibido Silva, le doblaba a Odriozola. Silva, que la pone templadita al punto de penalti, despeja la defensa, lo hizo el central Mería, pero el rechace de nuevo lo gana España. Ramos, balón para Isco. Ahí está Andrés, otra vez para Isco, devuelve a Andrés, que bien ha visto de primera Jordi, que tenía tiempo de controlar y de sacar el centro sin problema para el portero.
Ay, le sobró empeine y le faltó interior para que cogiese la
pelín de rosca, la falta, un pelín.
Sí, pero bien, jugando rápido y mira, desarbolado. Y Túnez, cuando ha jugado España rapidito, le faltó algo.
Al menos hay que acabar las jugadas. Ahora presionaba Rodrigo, obligando ahora al saque largo al portero Matluti. Sí, ha habido falta.
Ellos te presionan y si no, falta. Presión o falta.
Hay que decir que la temperatura ahora, Juanma, es espectacular para jugar. Nada que ver con lo que hemos vivido y estamos viviendo desde que hemos llegado a Rusia.
No quiero decirlo mucho porque en España estarán muertos de envidia. Estamos en Rusia, que de verdad parece que estamos en Canarias. Esto es una maravilla. Temperatura muy suave ahora. Sí. Yo creo que estaremos en torno a los 22 grados de...
22 grados, sí.
22 grados y durante el día hoy no ha hecho mucho calor, 27, 28 grados. La verdad es que una maravilla. O sea, aquí están en verano, tienen narices.
Bueno, nos han dicho que para la semana que viene 35, 36 grados aquí en Krasnodar. Sí. Así que mucho calor y además humedad también. Cuidado que juega España, ahí va de nuevo Silva. Bien Odriozola, va a llegar línea de fondo, saca el centro. Fuera el balón, no llega a salir. Muy desviado el remate de cabeza de Rodrigo, evitó Jordi Alba que saliera por línea de fondo. Iniesta, Jordi atrás para Ramos. Le va a pegar Ramos. Madre de mi vida, qué misil lanzó Sergio.
El balón además, pero le ha pegado muy bien, ¿eh? Ahora España ha llegado bien, ha centrado, han rematado, han vuelto a coger el balón, han vuelto a elaborar. Vamos, hay que...
Gesto de Ramos.
Balón en Tarifa cuando partido, bueno, qué barbaridad.
Veíamos ahí la mirada de Nacho y de Iago Aspas en el banquillo.
Con los cambios de orientación, ahora mister, ha habido un par de jugadas en las que le hemos hecho en banda superior numérica porque le cuesta trabajo a la hora de
sobre todo por aquí, por aquí se está entrando.
El Bron es...
No, es lateral derecho, pero como decía mister, es casi el tercer central del equipo, ¿eh? Está ahí, le ves al lado de Ben Youssef y Media y es casi más corpulento que los centrales. Es más grande.
Los tres aquí.
Balón para España de nuevo. Camino del 23 de partido. Rebasando ya el Ecuador esta primera parte. Viene el cambio de orientación de nuevo. Odriozola viendo el desmarque de Silva. Sale Badri ahí a tapar. Todo el equipo muy generoso también en tareas defensivas del equipo que entrena Nabil Maalul por segunda vez en su carrera. Ya fue durante un corto periodo de tiempo
Estaba el 42 hace un año.
Sí.
Que muchas veces no tiene que ver, pero son buenos partidos.
Sorprende es el 10º puesto de España con la fase de clasificación que ha hecho. Sí. España está 10ª del ranking. Primero son Argentina, 5º, 4ª Portugal, 3ª Bélgica, 2ª Brasil.
Campeón de...
A ver, Bélgica es favorita y debería pasar.
Chile, que venía de ganar la Copa América.
Se encuentra ante su del debate nacional e internacional que supuso los últimos 10 minutos ante Polonia. Se deshacen las 6 rotaciones de ese día, volvemos al 11 titular. Y yo me espero de nuevo a la Japón de Halilhodžić, que afortunadamente la hemos visto a lo largo de la fase de grupos. Lo que desarrolló el seleccionador anterior, Nishino, no ha metido mano, como si por ejemplo Hierro ha metido mano en el trabajo de Lopetegui, por hacer el paralelismo más similar, y eso hace que Japón, yo me la espere, pues al contrario que la mayoría de analistas, me la espero replegada, bloque bajo, especulando en cierto modo, aguantando atrás, esperando a salir al contragolpe y ni mucho menos con la posesión intentando invadir campo contrario, porque eso propiciaría pérdidas de balón que ante una selección como la belga supondrían pues ser triturados al contragolpe, ¿no? Así que me espero una Japón de bloque bajo, de espera, de hacer largo el partido y de negarle a Bélgica ese 0-1 que le permitiría destrozar a la selección nipona. Todo lo que sea repetir o magnificar lo que fue el primer tiempo del Bélgica-Panamá será un acierto para Japón. Por ahí pasan sus opciones, al igual que también por aprovechar las espaldas de los carrileros, de los Red Devils.
Ya ha hecho sonar su silbato el senegalés Malang Diédhiou. Juan Andújar Oliver, buenas tardes de nuevo.
Efectivamente, buenas tardes de nuevo. Malang Diédhiou, efectivamente, el senegalés. Hablamos de un hombre de la Confederación Africana, un hombre de 44 años. Es su tercer partido que está dirigiendo. El primer encuentro con Costa Rica, Serbia. Su segundo encuentro fue el Egipto.
Thank you, Jonathan. Plenty more from Wimbledon tomorrow. 5 Live Sport is on air from midday tomorrow, coming live from Moscow and Wimbledon as well. And Mark Chapman, who's with us this evening, will be inside.
Tiene la fortuna de dirigir el tercer encuentro en el Campeonato Mundial de Rusia.
Ya sabes que te queremos incorporar a nuestro palco de profes en el 628269092 con 0034 si mandas desde el extranjero.
Mañana será Escomina el esloveno el que pite el Suecia-Suiza y Heiger el americano el Colombia-Inglaterra. Como solo ha pitado un partido, si no me corrige Juan Andújar, Mateo Laoz ha metido 2.
Sí, ha pitado 2.
Mateo Laoz ha dirigido 2 encuentros. Los partidos que ha dirigido Mateo Laoz han sido el Dinamarca-Austria, el que empata 1, y el Islandia-Croacia con victoria de Croacia por 1-2. Y yo creo que va a ser un partido de cuartos de final. Sí, y además Félix Briz, que es un colegiado que lo están reservando para partidos importantes, para semifinal o final, o hacer un partido de cuartos y luego hacer la final, porque solamente le han dado un partido. Y para mí es el mejor colegiado que hay en estos momentos en el Mundial.
¿Reservado o penalizado, Juan? Porque fue el del no penalti a Mitrovic en el Serbia-Suiza.
Yo creo que no. Yo considero que lo tienen reservado. Mi apreciación es que es un grandísimo colegiado. Y vamos, si hablamos de árbitros de confederaciones, como por ejemplo la Confederación Asiática, donde hay colegiados que han dirigido 3 partidos, donde hablamos de la Confederación Africana, que han dirigido 3 encuentros, y donde de la Confederación Centroamericana del Caribe, que también han dirigido 3 encuentros, y ahora nos vamos a encontrar en este momento con uno de los mejores árbitros que tenemos a nivel de UEFA, que por un partido lo tengan apartado. Yo creo que tanto Colina como Busaka estarían completamente confundidos y equivocados. Entonces no hace falta árbitros ya, que sin ser colegiados, que pongan al que les dé la gana ahí, y con el VAR que le vaya diciendo lo que deben de señalar. Yo soy así de claro.
Muy bien, Juan, así me gusta, que estés clarito. 2 minutos cumplidos, que ya hay fútbol en ese Rostov Arena. Varela.
Qué razón tiene Andújar, veremos si hay suerte con las designaciones arbitrales. El hecho de que no esté España le facilita un poco la labor a Mateu Laoz para seguir creciendo en este campeonato, representando el colectivo arbitral de nuestra liga. Pelota para Bélgica, maneja el Spitzel. Viene el futbolista de la Liga China entregándose a la parte izquierda. El que la maneja es Vertonghen, el del Tottenham Hotspur, jugando para Carrasco, otro que ha probado en el fútbol chino después de su extraña salida del Atlético de Madrid. La presión de Japón en el 3 de la primera parte. Un disparo a puerta a cargo del futbolista Kagawa del Borussia Dortmund. No sé, David Fer, cómo analiza en clave de que la rotación en los cambios, que los ha habido y muchos en la selección nipona.
Bueno, recuperar los titulares, es así de sencillo. Es que la gestión del partido ante Polonia fue rarísima, es como si Japón empezase ya clasificada y por eso daba 6 rotaciones, pero este es el 11 de gala. Vuelve Gen Soji a la pareja de centrales, que es la pareja más solvente ahora mismo de Maya Yoshida, y del centro del campo hacia arriba todos los buenos, ¿no? Makoto Hasebe, que es el capitán al lado de Gaku, Kagawa para liderar la presión desde la media punta, Takashi Nui, que es lo más ofensivo que tiene el equipo, Osako, que es el punta titular en esta copa, Haraguchi, que es un soldado por la banda derecha. Es recuperar a los titulares y más, y aunque no está muy echada atrás Japón, ya la estamos viendo cederle la pelota a Bélgica, Kagawa y Osako ir a la presión y esperar que Bélgica tenga la bola, se atasque y que no pueda correr.
Hubo falta, hubo enredo, el derribo sobre Hazard. Muchos apuntan a que es el Mundial con permiso de Neymar, Mbappé, que también emerge. Pero desde luego sin Messi, sin Cristiano, no está del todo claro cuál puede ser el que ocupe ese trono de mejor futbolista de este campeonato del mundo.
Muchos focos también apuntando a Luka Modric ayer con esa sangre fría después de fallar un penalti en la prórroga. Anotó el suyo y sirvió en bandeja con la actuación de Subasic para que Rakitic decidiese en favor de los arlequinados. Fuera hacia la parte derecha, juega del Paris Saint-Germain Meunier, equipo que ha perdido hoy un lateral, se lo lleva el Athletic Club Bilbao. Yuri Berchiche, que regresa a nuestra liga, juega con Pani a la izquierda, pelota para Vertonghen, orientando por ese perfil, aparece Yannick Carrasco, el colchonero, estuvo agresivo, se la llevó Hasebe, hubo falta, derribaron a ese dorsal 19, el balón queda para el combinado nipón, aparecía Kevin De Bruyne para poner las cosas en su sitio, para frenar en cualquier caso la avalancha de Japón. Bueno el trabajo táctico en esa posición que no acaba de alcanzar el consenso para este pelotero, al que muchos ven en una zona, o más aprovechado en una zona un poquito más adelantada, tanto ahí como en el City, porque Guardiola lo ha usado, bueno, pues un poco siempre en el pasillo central, pero unas veces justo por delante de la defensa, otras veces justo por detrás del delantero. 5 de la primera parte, empate a 0, juegan los de azul, lo hacen ante los de rojo, esa camiseta, la de Bélgica, inspirada en aquella indumentaria mítica de un tenista, Ivan Lendl, colección Adidas, frente a otro equipo.
¿Cómo se tiraba de las cejas, te acuerdas, no?
Es verdad, es verdad.
Era exagerado, estaba todo el día, vaya toque que tenía con las cejas.
Se quitaba los pelitos.
Pero además con una fuerza que yo recuerdo que se ofuscaba, se pegaba unos tirones.
Eso era cuando estaba de mala uva.
Eso pasa que entonces era que tenía esa manía. Hoy sabemos que era un trastorno obsesivo compulsivo.
But they are an experienced outfit.
They've taken the free kick. Maya Yoshida, plenty of our listeners at home this evening will know of him. Plays the ball forward. Kagawa's got it. Out on the right-hand side to Haraguchi. Haraguchi playing back here to Sakai, the right back. Now Japan come back into midfield. Belgium have everyone behind the ball. Belgium 0, Japan 0. Hazard comes trotting across to cover a little pass forward. Carrasco heads it away. Here is Hazard. Again, of space, suddenly picks up speed and moves away from two would-be defenders. Gets the ball back. Little 1-2 with Mertens. Hazard's now bouncing off challenges there. Goes down, doesn't get the free kick. And Japan have it at the back with Yoshida.
Good signs, though, for Belgium. He looks in the mood. That little burst that he has, that acceleration, got away from a couple of the Japanese midfielders, tried a little 1-2 into Mertens.
Good start by Japan this, although that little layoff, well, it didn't quite go right first of all from Osako, but Kagawa got it via a lucky deflection. They've come to the left-hand side. Here's the left back, Nagatomo. Wide for him is Inui, hugging the touchline, but he's played the ball back to the halfway line, and Hasebe. Now Shibasaki through the middle. Chasing down the left-hand side's Inui, gets there first, scuffs the cross. Alderweireld's there at the near post to clear for Belgium. Belgium 0, Japan 0. 6.5 minutes played. The ball has been more in the Belgian half so far than the Japan half, I would say. Japan have taken the throw. Nagatomo to the left. Here's Inui. Inui, who scored in the 2-2 draw against Senegal. Scored a couple of goals as well.
He's got real pace, hasn't he, on that left-hand side.
Right footer, Chris, who likes to cut in like, you know, lots of wingers will play nowadays. And he's really staying wide there, actually, on the left. Japan are knocking it around inside their own half. Yoshida now goes through a low ball up the middle of the pitch. It's laid off to Kagawa. Nicely done. Kagawa brings it 5 yards forward, plays it to Inui. Inui's into the penalty area here, running sideways to his right. Lays it back to Shibasaki. All the way back to Hasebe, who's one of these incredibly experienced Japanese internationals playing in central midfield, 34 years old. Plays his club football with Eintracht Frankfurt, winning his 114th cap for Japan this evening. And Japan actually, from rather a promising position, have come all the way back to their goalkeeper, Kawashima, who clears with his right foot. Vertonghen heads that away. Hazard tries to take that down on his right thigh, 10 yards inside the Japan half. It's taken away from him. Carrasco turns, looking for an option here, lays it back to Witsel, with the big bushy hair in central midfield, playing alongside Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne running to the left, Witsel to the right, Alderweireld on the ball, curls his pass away to Meunier, and here's an attacking opportunity for Belgium. Mertens in towards Lukaku. Lukaku just lays this off to the edge of the penalty area. Shot's not going to come in, laid off again to Mertens. Carrasco now trying to get there.
And it's cleared, and the referee spotted a tug or a push or something he didn't like. A shirt pull there, I think, in the penalty area, and Japan have the free kick. Chris Sutton.
I think that's the danger when Japan, they pressed Belgium high up. They got out on the right-hand side, and Carrasco centrally took the wrong option. Hazard was wide open on the left-hand side, would have been in 1v1 situation, but came inside, and the chance was wasted.
By the way, something just to watch out for in our commentary this evening. Meunier, Vertonghen and De Bruyne, Chris, all on yellow cards. So if you've got a quarter-final coming up against Brazil, if they get through, let's not write off the underdogs, they would be huge losses, were that to happen.
You know, they certainly will be thinking about that situation.
Ball's nodded down to Kagawa here. Belgium with defending to do. Now played back to Hasebe. Hasebe across to Kagawa again. Just prompts Inouye, who runs in off the left flank. Right-footed cross into the penalty area. Kompany heads it away. It was a good ball. Volleyed forward by Mertens. Little 1-2 with Lukaku. Run is well covered there. And then a long range shot from Gen Shoji, the centre-back. That was 50 yards out with his right foot. It's missed by a country mile.
45, I would say. But just previous to that, timely header from Vincent Kompany. Haraguchi had burst into the box. He just gets under it. Timely clearance from Kompany.
Alderweireld with his right foot. Long ball for Lukaku to chase down the right-hand side. Gen Shoji, who tried that long ranger, is with him. Lukaku just skips past him on his way into the penalty area. Left-footed ball's nice to Mertens. Mertens takes it and turns and lays it back to Vertonghen. 35 yards out. Belgium 0, Japan 0. De Bruyne floating the ball into the box. Mertens will chase it, and he just can't reach it as he stretches the left leg. The angle had got very tight, and the ball has gone behind for a goal kick to Japan.
De Bruyne is like a quarterback, isn't he? Gets the ball, and when he has time, as he does do centrally, gets his head up, and Mertens off the left-hand side this time makes a run in behind. Wasn't far away.
Interesting to watch in this first 10 minutes, sort of Belgium trying to get back in their rhythm. Eden Hazard made the point that when he's playing well, Chris, he doesn't like a break. It sort of ruins the continuity for him. Carrasco will be beaten in the air here. Kompany wins the next header, powers it forward to the halfway line. Hasebe nods it back. De Bruyne, I think, just got a little nudge there. He did, and he gets the free kick.
I think you're right. I think everybody's looking at that. A lot of players dropped for the England game. It's the same with England. People will be looking at Gareth Southgate's men tomorrow night and seeing if they've got that rhythm which they had in the first couple of games.
Alderweireld plays the ball to the right-hand side. If you just tuned in, this is BBC Radio 5 Live. You probably enjoyed our coverage from Wimbledon this afternoon. First day of the championships, still progressing. But we are in Rostov-on-Don this evening, which is the capital of southern Russia. This stadium pretty much on the banks of the Don. The Rostov Arena cost £250 million to get ready for this World Cup, but the airport, Chris, cost $500 million.
Yeah, and you think if you spend $500 million on an airport, you'd build it a little bit closer to the city, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's called Rostov Airport. It's a long way.
Well, it's not
Rostov.
actually called Rostov Airport, is it?
No, it's not. Bother. Go on.
It's called Matvey Platov Airport, after the famous Don Cossack.
Yeah.
Ali.
Don't take Chris Sutton on his knowledge of Russia. He's absolutely right. Famous Cossack general who chased Napoleon out of the country many years ago. Meunier on the ball for Belgium, playing it back to Alderweireld. 12 minutes gone in the first half. Belgium 0, Japan 0. Hasebe lets the ball bounce twice, points to his goalkeeper, Kawashima, who's winning his 88th cap this evening. 35 years old in this very experienced Japanese lineup. Very cool defending there as well from Yoshida, who obviously will know plenty of these Belgian players from encounters against them in the Premier League. And Kawashima, the goalkeeper, gets the ball again, puts his right foot through it up to the halfway line, and it breaks for Inouye. Inouye's little ball back to Shibasaki. Shibasaki plays it to the left, and Nagatomo back to Shibasaki. Shirt untucked, dark black hair. Hasebe chipping one over the top. Inouye won't catch that, and it runs all the way through and behind for the goal kick to Belgium.
Show no fear, Japan, in the early stages. Been confident on the ball, aggressive with their pressing. I think that's always dangerous against Belgium. The talent that they have on this pitch.
Well, we've seen in this World Cup in terms of the surprise results, South Korea beating Germany, Russia defeating Spain in the penalty shootout yesterday, that fortune favours the brave. Or as they say in Russia, you've got to show courage to take the castle. Hazard's trying to win the ball back in the centre circle. Just sneaking another little one in there while I've got time.
That's a good one.
That's what Japan have got to do tonight. Show courage to take the castle, to try and knock Belgium out of the World Cup and try and make their first ever World Cup quarter-final. De Bruyne's first time pass, releases Hazard. Hazard suddenly picks up pace on his way, chased by 3 Japanese players, lays it off to his right-hand side. Mertens, good spot from Mertens, sees Carrasco, 25 yards out, rolls the ball under his right foot. Risky challenge on him in the penalty area. He stayed on his feet. He's got 2 men on him at the moment. Gets his cross in, that gets blocked, and De Bruyne can't get there. It's cleared up to the centre forward on the halfway line. That's Asako, who does a good job for Japan there. Carrasco.
I think Haraguchi got lucky in the box, going to ground with Carrasco. I think the referee played an advantage there.
We'll have another little look on our video monitor when we get a chance. Asako, meanwhile, has won a free kick for Japan on the right-hand side. Tiny touch on the ball.
Well, I think Carrasco does really well in that situation to stay on his feet. A lot of players, and I won't name them, would have gone down.
Ball forward for Japan, long one for Inui to chase, and Courtois in the perfect position on the edge of his penalty area, giant of a figure in the black goalkeeping gloves. Bowls the ball out, underarm. Kim Clijsters was telling us from the Wimbledon coverage that Thibaut Courtois, I think, used to play football in her back garden, is quite a useful tennis player, and with that height you'd imagine he'd be good at the net. Meunier flicks it forward, Hazard brings it down, on the run, forced out to the right-hand side of the penalty area, looking for an option. Hazard keeps it, defenders chasing it, lays off to Witsel, who shoots, takes a little deflection, I think, yes, over the bar, behind for a corner. Belgium 0, Japan 0.
Every time Eden Hazard gets the ball, he looks a danger, looks a threat, unselfish, feeds the ball across the box to Witsel, left foot, good strike, slight deflection, goes over the bar.
Brazil 2, Mexico 0. If you haven't heard from earlier on today, that's why the winners of this one will meet Brazil in the quarterfinals.
First set piece, and this was a worry. Yoshida talking about their inability at set or to defend set pieces. Japan, that is their weakness.
Kompany making a run from the edge of the penalty area. Lukaku's in there. Belgium goes short, actually, 1-2 between Hazard and De Bruyne. The ball is now floated to the far post. Kompany heads it down, cleared on the half volley by Shoji with his left foot up to the halfway line. Meunier comes all the way back to chase it for Belgium, pokes it with the outside of his right foot and finds Courtois. Courtois, well, not quite in Neuer territory there, but a good 40 yards from his goal line. But perfectly safe, no one to tackle him there. And that's a lovely ball up to Carrasco from De Bruyne. Carrasco has space on the left. Hazard's making a run beside him. Carrasco doesn't want to use him, though. Digs his right foot under the ball. Meunier heads the cross back across goal. Lukaku brings it down. It won't quite fall for him. Lukaku on the turn, hits the shot, takes a deflection. Belgium get the corner.
Oh, he looks strong, doesn't he? Lukaku. Carrasco, who's playing as a left winger, ahead of Hazard in that situation. As the ball's headed back across, Lukaku says to a couple of the Japanese defenders, get off, I'm having that. Turns, snapshot, takes a deflection wide.
17 minutes played in the first half. Belgium 0, Japan 0. Another corner for Belgium, where they are always going to be a threat here. Now, the last one they took short. This one, I think, is coming in the box, and the referee's blown his whistle. Spotted something he didn't like in the penalty area. Holding's been an issue during the World Cup. Some teams have got away with it, some haven't. De Bruyne floats the corner in. Kompany with the header might come down, but Kompany on the volley miscues it, and the ball is behind for the goal kick. Our referee, Malang Jeju, has refereed 2 games in the tournament, Costa Rica, Serbia, and he sent a Russian player off as well against Uruguay. Igor Smolnikov got 2 yellow cards in that game. And he also worked as a VAR official at last year's Confederations Cup. So if we get into any VAR issues this evening...
Did they wear the kit?
Well, I don't know if they did at the Confederations Cup. I do always enjoy those pre-match shots of the VAR officials in full refereeing gear. And I love the thought of them all doing a warm-up together as well, up and down the corridors, wherever they are in Moscow. Belgium just starting to take a hold on this game. Witsel in quickly to try and win the ball on the halfway line, but spins away from him, and Nagatomo, under no pressure at all for Japan, the left back, has it inside his own half. Rolls one up the left-hand touchline. Inouye got a little shove in the back from Meunier, and Japan get a free kick. 18 minutes played. Belgium 0, Japan 0. Played each other in November, these two, last year. Belgium won it 1-0 with a goal from Romelu Lukaku. First time they've beaten Japan, though, in 5 meetings. Carrasco chasing, and now Shoji has the ball, the Japanese centre-back. Plays it wide to Nagatomo. Little 1-2 with Inouye. Belgium quite happy just to hold off here. That's too much for Inouye to chase. Down the left-hand side, Alderweireld lets it run out of play. And that is a goal kick to Belgium.
Yeah, contrasting systems. Japan with that back four. Belgium back five out of possession. I think in this heat, it's still extremely warm in the stadium. They're trying to conserve energy. And then they've got that pace, that power on the break.
Witsel brings the ball under control just inside his own half. Right-footed pass, low across to Meunier. Walking pace back to Witsel. Onto De Bruyne, who just hoves into view. Back to Alderweireld. Lovely long diagonal ball here. Almost clears the right-back Sakai, but he read it. He got there. Heads it forward to Haraguchi. Oh, he's lost it here on the edge of the penalty area. Hazard almost nips in. Yoshida is there to clear the danger. Kompany heads the ball back forward. Yoshida lets it run into his own penalty area and then hoofs it away with his right foot, and the ball is out for a Belgian throw on the left. 19 minutes played. Belgium 0, Japan 0. 2 more World Cup commentaries coming your way tomorrow. Sweden against Switzerland. Chris's beloved Switzerland is at 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock. England in action again here. I
wouldn't say my beloved, I just didn't write them off like everybody else.
England, Colombia in full at 7 o'clock. Mertens, very quick on the turn there. Lays it off to Lukaku's right-footed shot, takes a big deflection and goes behind for a corner.
Yeah, worked that very, very well, Belgium. Ball into Mertens, half turn, 30 yards out. Pops it into Lukaku on the turn. Nakamoto, good block.
Belgium just starting to look ever so slightly more dangerous at the moment. So Rachel Burden with the breakfast programme live in Moscow from 6 o'clock tomorrow as we build up to that England game, trying to make their way into the quarterfinals where they meet either Sweden or Switzerland. Robbie Savage's World Cup breakfast from 8:30 as well. Jonathan Pearce, our correspondent John Murray, and Henry Winter will be a part of that programme. Talking about the England game, De Bruyne waiting to take this corner from the right, low into the area. Mertens has a swing and misses, comes to Kompany, goes through his legs. Kompany pokes it to his left. Here's Vertonghen. Vertonghen gets his cross in deep. Inouye's there, very cool under pressure, chests it down, and Carrasco closes in. Inouye clears, and the ball will go out for a Belgium throw on the right.
Wasn't that clever, that corner? Off the training ground. De Bruyne right-footed, plays low into Mertens. It does just bounce in front of Mertens. He's 14 yards out, level with the near post, doesn't get a good connection. Well worked.
Alderweireld for Belgium inside the Belgium half. Another sticky night here in Russia. Witsel slightly miscontrols. So right in his face there was Shibasaki. Witsel kept control. Kompany's under pressure. Japan are pressing a little bit higher here. Alderweireld's going to go long down the right-hand side towards Lukaku. Shoji leaps in and heads the ball out. And Lukaku's frustrated there. He's saying, come on, that needs to be quicker. Mertens getting ready to take the throw.
Yeah, there's space in behind. The nature of Japan pressing that Belgian back line.
Meunier throws it into Lukaku. Holds 2 defenders off. Chests the ball down. Lays it off to his skipper Hazard. Hazard switches it from his right foot to his left foot. Stabs a little pass out to Carrasco, who is a left footer but puts it on his right foot. Back to Hazard. Floated pass across the face of the Japanese box. Shibasaki is there again to get on Witzel's shoulders, and Japan have done well here because they've chased Belgium all the way back into their own half. It's not a rip-roaring atmosphere like it was France-Argentina a couple of days ago for us in Kazan, but as I say that, actually the noise is just building inside the Rostov arena. Saw one Japanese fan with the face painted entirely white, red circle right in the middle. Meunier's ball through here for Lukaku to chase, and it's cleared and out for a throw.
Mertens there throwing his arms up in the air. I think Meunier should make that pass. Just getting in the back of the Japanese midfield. Lukaku had made a bursting run through the middle. Misplaced pass. allowed Shoji to intercept.
Midway through the first half, neither keeper's been tested. Shoji had that long-range effort from 45 yards. His only ever goal for Japan actually came from 45 yards against China in the East Asian Championship last year. He didn't pull it off here in Rostov tonight. Good tackle there. De Bruyne is robbed. Ball is played up to Kagawa. Kagawa side foots a pass back here. Osako can't get there, the centre forward, and now Vertonghen sees an opportunity. Goes slaloming through the Japanese midfield. This is nice from Belgium. Meunier lays it off to Lukaku. Gets up to three-quarter speed, works it onto his left foot on the right. Curling ball across to Carrasco, bit of space, nice first touch into the penalty area, pulls the ball back to the edge of the box, and Shibasaki is there to clear, but that's not a good clearance. Rolled right up the middle of the pitch to Alderweireld. Belgium just sniffing blood possibly here, but the pass to Hazard not good from Carrasco, and it's behind again for a Japanese goal kick.
Yeah, more arm waving this time from Hazard. It was a poor pass from Carrasco, but they look slicker and sharper, that last move. Lukaku's movement is good.
So the way this side of the draw lines up, if you haven't got your World Cup wall chart in front of you, France, Uruguay in one quarter-final, and Brazil awaiting the winners of this one. On the other side, we have Russia against Croatia, both going through on the penalty shootouts last night, and then England or Colombia against Sweden or Switzerland. And we'll find out who's going to take those quarter-final spots tomorrow. Belgium in their bright red with yellow trim. Coming forward again down the right-hand side with Meunier. Dries Mertens making a run for him. It's going to turn out to be a decoy run because Meunier plays it back to Witsel. Now Mertens has it crossing. Lukaku's there. Now can he get it under control? No, and the goalkeeper Kawashima scrambles and falls on the ball. Lukaku was 3 yards out. The ball was under his feet, and if he could have just got it out, surely it would have been 1-0.
Yeah, just wouldn't drop. Mertens wide on the right, level with the 18-yard line, whips across and it takes a deflection, and Yoshida just does enough to scramble the ball clear.
Belgium 0, Japan 0. 20 minutes remaining in the first half. Are we going to get another big upset at this World Cup? Belgium heavily favoured here, of course, having won all 3 group games and having scored 9 goals so far in the tournament. We saw them beat Tunisia 5-2, and they did look sharp that afternoon in Moscow. Hazard in particular. Lukaku scored 2. Witsel, pass intercepted. Japan have it on the right-hand side. That's Haraguchi. Turns and plays the ball back infield. Shibasaki's lost it. Kompany intercepts. Nice ball from Kompany. This is trouble for Japan. Hazard's onto it on the left-hand side at speed into the penalty area on his right foot. Lays it off to Mertens. Mertens, De Bruyne. De Bruyne's first-time shot is hooked and cleared and high in the air. Nodded away by Nagatomo. Just didn't catch it quite right. And Japan are able to come away with it. And here's Nagatomo again on the corner of his own box on his right foot. Clears up to the halfway line. Alderweireld chests it sideways to Carrasco. And Hazard, who's just starting to get into the game a little bit more, towards Lukaku. Laid off to Carrasco. Couldn't take it on the run. Flick clearance only finds Hazard. On his left foot, drives it straight at the goalkeeper. And Kawashima, double-fisted, punches it away. I think for I was going to say corner, but it's a throw-in. Hazard's taken that quickly. Hazard to De Bruyne and back to Hazard again. Little ball into the feet of Carrasco. Thought about the back heel. Carrasco on the dribble himself. Lays it back to Hazard. Hazard just toying with Sakai. Low pass back to Witsel, 25 yards from goal. Belgium 0, Japan 0. Mertens left-footed ball into the area. Oh, Yoshida slices it just past his own post. Behind for a corner.
9 Japanese players in the box defending the width of the 18-yard box. But you feel it's coming with Belgium. They're turning the screw. Yoshida, slightly fortunate there. Left-footed cross from Mertens on the right-hand side of the box. Sliced clear.
Corner roll back to De Bruyne. De Bruyne's right-footed ball to the far post. Kompany attacks it and puts it right across goal. It finds Hazard. Just inside the penalty area, down by the byline on the left. Another cross comes in. Volleyed away by the captain, Hasebe. Vincent Kompany on his first start at this World Cup. So close.
I think he's got to head that. I really do. He's gone with his foot in that situation.
Another cross in from Mertens, too close to Kawashima. Why has he punched that? Ends up at the feet of Meunier. Now comes to Mertens, but Meunier has committed a foul on the edge of the box, and so Japan will get a free kick. Chris Sutton.
Yeah, I think it's poor goalkeeping twice. First with Kompany, Kawashima from The cross from De Bruyne, tantalising cross. The goalkeeper, he comes and flaps. I think Kompany should go with his head, and if he does, I think he scores. It's 2 or 3 yards out. Yes, at an angle, would stand a better chance. And then Kawashima, really poor punch when he should have caught it.
Yeah, I think he was counting the crows there, Chris, as they say in Russia.
Do they?
Head in the clouds. Kawashima gets away with it. Belgium 0, Japan 0. We have 17 minutes remaining in this first half, and Japan given a pretty good account of themselves so far. Possession stats just come up, 60% Belgium, 40% Japan. They have offered a little threat, though. Inui's lost it on the right-hand side. Kagawa and Nagatomo both come hurtling in to try and close the ball down. And Alderweireld has it for Belgium and plays the ball across the face of his own penalty area. Vertonghen onto Carrasco. Back to Vertonghen, no pressure on him. Midway inside his own half. Alderweireld also counting the crows there. Just let the ball roll over his right foot, but managed to go and collect it again. And now he dinks a ball down the right-hand side. Nagatomo's able to easily intercept. Chessit and clears it. Witzel's in to win a header. Roberto Martinez applauds that heartily, and it goes out for a Japan throw, which Nagatomo will take into midfield, and it finds Hasebe. Hasebe floats a pass with his right foot. Across for the right back, Sakai. Plays his club football for Marseille. Ball back into Yoshida. Yoshida across to his centre-back partner Shoji. Shoji wide to Nagatomo. Nice bit of Japan possession building up here. Kagawa's dropped deep to take it off Nagatomo on the left. Gives it to Inui. Inui runs forward. Looks to find the centre-forward Asako there. He was tackled, but Japan have picked up the bits and bobs. Hasebe plays it to the right-hand side. Awkward clearance for Kompany. Had to take that ball on the bounce and open his body up to clear. And Japan here, building again on the right, and then it's thumped forward high by Yoshida. Meunier's underneath it, he's missed it. And Kagawa's onto it, into the penalty area. Here he comes. Right-footed back heel. Nagatomo's cross towards the far post, attacked and headed straight at Thibaut Courtois, who makes an easy save in the end, and he's bowled the ball out very quickly. Lukaku's lost it on the halfway line there. Had the header been either side of Courtois, Japan could easily have been in front. Half an hour's flown by in this first half. Belgium 0, Japan 0.
Yeah, that was half a chance, though. Really well worked down the left-hand side. Cross dug out. And the header, no real purchase on the header from 8 yards. Straight at Courtois.
Kagawa. That's the chance, isn't it, Chris, that you always feel you have with Belgium. You know, they are fantastic going forwards. They score loads and loads of goals. But Tunisia got 2 against them. We saw that. They can be vulnerable at the back. As I say that, Kompany defends beautifully. Takes the ball off Asako. And Belgium have it again inside their own half. So 14 minutes remaining in the first half in the Rostov Arena. 2 more World Cup commentaries tomorrow. Sweden, Switzerland at 3. The big one at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Mark Chapman inside the Spartak Stadium, bringing you that one with John Murray and Chris Waddle against Colombia for a place in the World Cup quarter-finals. 5 Live Sport will be on air from midday, live from Moscow and Wimbledon. The championships are underway, and we know that Kim Clijsters, the Belgian tennis player, is watching the game with Kei Nishikori, the Japanese tennis player, this evening. So hopefully they're watching with the sound down and a radio on, possibly, Chris, and if they are, we will say hello to them. Kagawa with his left foot. Japan working this nicely. Up the pitch, left-hand side, Nagatomo. Looks up, no one coming towards him, so Nagatomo brings the ball forward again. Inui on the left finds Hasebe. Hasebe across to the right-hand side. Shibasaki curling ball to the far post, over the head of everyone. Inui tries to catch it down by the byline, he couldn't, and it's behind for a goal kick. Belgium 0, Japan 0.
Yeah, just a good little period from Japan. Good in possession. Just seeing that opportunity again. It's a good cross from Nagamoto. Inui just cannot get the purchase. It stood up the crosses, so he has to generate his own power.
You could say Inui should have scored. No, that's no good. 12 minutes to go in the first half. Belgium 0, Japan 0. But Japan having a good little spell here. Kagawa with a bit of control and a flick to Asako. Centre forward who wears number 15. He'll be playing his football for Werder Bremen next season, having joined from Cologne this summer. Headed forward by Mounier, chested down by Shoji. And Shoji with his right foot plays it up to the halfway line. Inui almost lost it, but he managed to recover himself and keep it for Japan. And now Kagawa's come very deep, and that's a good run made by Sakai down the right-hand side. Courtois coming to meet him and grabbed it just in time. Long arms, Chris. Tall man.
He has an advantage. Those long limbs, those long arms did well, actually, because initially when the ball was played, lovely crossfield ball from left to right, I wasn't sure he was going to get there. Just extended those long arms and gathered the ball on the edge of the area.
11 minutes left in the first half. Hazard forward to De Bruyne, wide to Carrasco. Did really well to keep that in on the left-hand side. Belgium 0, Japan 0. Brazil awaiting in the quarter-finals after their 2-0 win over Mexico. Nice ball into Carrasco on the turn. Lays it off to Mertens. First touch let him down. Trying to tee himself up for the shot, and it just ran away from him. And now Vertonghen's lost it, and Japan can counter here. Kagawa's looking for a pass to the right-hand side. He's found it. Inui's making a great run in the middle here. It's going to reach Inui. Brings it down on his right foot brilliantly. He's got a man behind in support if he can see him. He's going to keep it Inui. Back to the edge of the area. Asako, the centre-forward's lost it. And Mounier clears up to the halfway line. Yoshida will cover it.
It's a shame for Japan. Really good crossfield ball to Inui. He had Haraguchi behind him, edge of the box. Took too long to get his pass off. And then that chance was gone. The Belgian defenders got back in numbers.
Belgium unbeaten in their last 22 games. Roberto Martinez took over after Euro 2016. Lost his first one against Spain. Since then, 17 wins and 5 draws. Martinez...
You were making the point earlier, though. They haven't really played anybody too strong, or a lot of top teams in that period.
That's right, Chris, and I think when it comes to a game against Brazil, if they face it, you just wonder whether that might catch up with them. You look at what England have been doing in recent times, playing the likes of Germany, Brazil, Spain and France. Belgium haven't been doing that. Mertens' ball, though, finds Hazard. Edge of the area, real chance for Hazard. Shoots, well blocked by Yoshida. Runs to De Bruyne. De Bruyne 25 yards out. Sideways to Witsel. Gets underneath it, blasts it over the bar, and behind for the goal kick. Great chance for Eden Hazard there.
Yeah, and his first touch was just off on his chest as the ball was played from Mertens, and that didn't allow him to continue with that momentum. He stopped, the defender got back and blocked it well. But you'll go back to the game against England, a lot of changes. Eden Hazard, he wasn't happy about being left out. Last couple of minutes, a poor touch from Hazard, poor touch from Mertens. They haven't been able to get their shots away.
We're into the last 10 minutes of the first half. Japan have kept this tight so far. Company with the effort that went a cross goal when possibly he should have headed it. Yoshida with the block on Hazard. Hazard chasing a long ball through, but it comes all the way through to Kawashima. Now the Japanese goalkeeper playing in his 3rd World Cup.
Yeah, it's funny how things change. I remember him playing for Dundee United, took Dundee United down, not single-handedly, but he had an absolute stinker in the Dundee derby, and here he is, last 16 of the World Cup. Dundee United fans wouldn't believe this.
Kawashima has cleared the ball. Vertonghen's headed it forward, and Hazard's let it bounce, and now he's lobbed one for Lukaku to chase. That was awkward there for Shoji. Lukaku right on his shoulder. Shoji gets a touch, and it's behind for a Belgium corner.
He's got to be careful, Shoji. Very careful. You can't fight Lukaku. He is an absolute powerhouse, a monster of strength.
5 corners to Belgium so far, none to Japan. De Bruyne gets ready to take this one. Holds his right arm in the air. Hazard's gone short for him. He won't use him. Curls it again deep to the far post. Vertonghen with the header back across goal. Headed powerfully away. And Witsel is there, and he's just going to let the ball run out of play and take the throw in instead and throw it back to Mounier. Mounier on his right foot. Starts to run up the right-hand side. Sees 2 blue shirts in front of him, so stops. Plays it back to Witsel. Witsel to Alderweireld. Back to Company. Company in for Boyata this evening. De Bruyne has dropped very deep here. Halfway line. Plays it to Hazard. Hazard down the left to Carrasco. He's got a chance to run at Yoshida here. Tries to beat him on the outside. Gets his cross in. Beyond Kawashima, beyond Meunier. Meunier will chase. Can't get there. And it's out for a Japan throw.
They've linked up well, haven't they, down that Belgian left-hand side. And at times Carrasco has played higher than Hazard. Hazard dropping in, getting the ball to feet, releasing Carrasco. Not the worst ball. Across the 6-yard line, no takers.
7 minutes left in the first half in the Rostov Arena. Belgium 0, Japan 0. This time tomorrow night on 5 Live, you'll be listening to England in last 16 action against Colombia. And for more extensive build-up on that game, if you haven't already, make sure you download the World Cup Daily podcast. Either from your usual podcast provider or go to the BBC Sport website or app and go and find it there. Belgium have given the ball away to Shibasaki on the halfway line. Run off it brilliantly by Hazard. Lovely nutmeg from Hazard. Then he's taken down by Shibasaki. And that will be a yellow card. Spot on, Chris Sutton. Deserves it as well.
Yeah, he did really well, Hazard. Something you don't really associate with him. Out of possession, winning the ball back. Then on the half turn, that burst, that acceleration. And Shibasaki is thinking, I can't let him get away. Goes to ground. Easy decision for the referee, but Hazard's still down.
Hazard is down. That'll be a worry for Belgium. Plenty of the players taking water on as well on another sticky night in Russia. Shibasaki was one. I was just thinking this morning, Chris, thinking of possible storylines and shock results, and I said to you, I mean, it'd be a completely unoriginal headline, but were he to score a winner against Belgium, I was thinking for the old Shibasaki goes ballistic, Belgium were atrocious. Might work.
You were thinking that. I'm surprised you said it.
5 minutes left in the first half. Belgium haven't been atrocious, neither have Japan. And Japan, who really can consider themselves lucky to be at this stage, playing in that bizarre last 10 minutes against Poland in the group stages, 1-0 down, where had Senegal got an equaliser against Colombia or had Poland scored another goal in the game, they would have been out. They came through here by virtue of having 2 yellow cards fewer than Senegal, and here they are. And they're holding Belgium at the moment. 5 minutes left in the first half. Hazard's okay, on his feet. Free kick for Belgium, which De Bruyne is going to chip into the penalty area. Vertonghen attacks, heads it across goal, nodded away. Carrasco lays it off to Hazard. Gets the ball onto his right boot, stands up the defenders. Pass is intercepted. Carrasco chases back to win it for Belgium. Has it, 30 yards from goal, drives forward. Hazard making the run down the left-hand side. He's really got to chase that pass hard to keep it by the corner flag. Jinks infield, lovely little skill, down to the byline, intercepted by Shibasaki, and the ball is out for a Belgium throw on the left.
Yeah, they've actually defended from crosses, corners, second balls very well. Belgium often winning the first ball. But Japan really alert on that second ball.
Belgium 0, Japan 0. Intriguing stuff at the moment on 5 Live. Nice little turn from Lukaku round the corner. Hazard almost onto that. Loose ball comes to De Bruyne. 25 yards out. Just sucking a couple of defenders in. Played wide to Carrasco. Curling cross to the far post. Meunier attacks. Good defending by Nagatomo. Heads it away. Now a little bit risky from Inui here inside his own box. His chip clearance is headed up in the air by Witsel. Witsel can't keep that in. Japan have a throw on the left inside their own half. So Belgium not having it all their own way, and actually best chance of the game, Chris Sutton, possibly the Inui header.
Maybe.
Or the Hazard shot that was blocked. Had he done better with that?
But what it does show you is defences are on top, and credit to Japan. Belgium just not at it really.
Showed you with a long diagonal